We are live talking Mando Friday night, an all-star cast, flipped out, 19K Fox, Lord Callis, and myself, Rhodes Rants. Good evening, gentlemen.
This is the only one I'm going to get right.
That's easy.
Straight up.
What's going on, Rose? How you doing?
We're rocking. We're rocking tonight. I think we all feel good. We got a great Mandalorian episode. I mean, it was like, boom. They dropped a hammer on us. Big time. I watched this morning. I was like, holy shit, this is good. Especially after the last two episodes, we're kind of down a little bit, but and we will touch on the Rise of Skywalker tonight and the new leaks. So listen, guys, we got to talk about it for a little while. There's no way we can just
absolutely.
no way we can get around it. I mean, we're closing in. We're less than a week away now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I got my Thursday ticket solo and my Friday tickets with the fam.
Yep.
Yeah. I got my Thursday ticket, 6 p.m. By the way, I was on a Matrix stream last night, and we was looking. I cannot tell that a ticket has sold in the theater I'm going to since I bought mine about 10 days ago. Not a single solitary another ticket in the same
That's crazy
screening.
Because all of mine are full.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
my
went
theater
through,
is packed. The Fridays, like the showings, sold out. The only ones that there was one. It was like a 3 p.m. showing, and it was only the handicap.
Yeah.
Only the handicap section was left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I'm going to show you this live. I just want to make sure I don't dox myself here. This is the 11:45 p.m. showing, and you can see there are just a ton of seats left.
Yeah.
That's the day out.
Mine looks about
That's
half that way. There's about half blue, half gray.
Yep.
And no screens in town. None of them are sold out of about 20 screens. Not
That's
one.
crazy.
Yep.
I guess it's just a difference because I'm in New York. Maybe that's I don't know.
Maybe that's what it is. But it's hit or miss. Some of the showings are sold out, but there's some like that where, that's maybe 80% left. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Flip, are you going? Or are you passing? Are you buying a ticket to Jumanji and going? What are you doing?
I'm going. I just haven't bought a ticket, and I don't plan to buy a ticket.
Okay.
So
I see.
I'm working it out, man. I'm working it out.
Okay.
I got to do a review. We all got to do a review.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
want
live
to
streaming Thursday night. I'm going to watch it at 8:30. I'm going to do a live stream at either 11:30 or midnight, and it's going to be spoiler filled, and it's just going to be wide open. So anybody that wants to stop by can check it out.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
There is not going to be a non-spoiler review on this channel.
I don't think it's possible, man.
I don't think so either.
Not going to happen.
Because it's just going to be all about feelings, man. I want to do my first reaction, sort of, and then sit down and maybe do a scripted one. But
yeah,
I've never seen so many people, like not just our community, but like the Phantom Menace has grown to be even normies, from here to the West Coast. Like, wow, it's everyone. No one wants to go see this. I mean, they want to go see it, but they don't want to go see it.
Our brother in arms, John Matrix, with $10. Thank you, John. All Hell Rhodes panel. Just walking out of work. I talked to John earlier. He loved this episode and wanted to be able to come on, but this is like closing day for him at work. Mandalorian got back on track for him. Let's say hello to some folks right quick. Potato Man.
I got to hold on a second, guys.
Okay. He just watched Woke Christmas, a.k.a. Black Christmas, and it's effing terrible. It's going to flop. I did answer him earlier. It was PG-13, so I was out right there. The two previous Black Christmas movies were rated R, and even the last one was actually kind of good. But I was out. Fallon Reacts, that is a new channel. So anybody that's in my chat, go subscribe to Fallon Reacts. We're trying to grow that channel right now in the
Good Texas
community.
woman right there.
Chubby Teddy, what's up? Mr. Rhodes, my swole gangsta. Gonna be Boba Fett Bounty Hunter comic coming soon. I think Bosk is in it. So there's a Boba comic coming out. Okay.
Yep.
Is this being made to cash in on the Mandalorian success, or a passion project, or both? Loving your work. I don't know. I'll have to see who's actually doing the comic before I'll be able to. Horror Nation, what's up? I think a lot of anything to do with Lucasfilm right now depends on who's involved. It seems like, right?
No,
if
I
it's
agree with that. Yeah.
if it's Favreau, Filoni, we seem to be pretty good. Deborah Chow did a great episode, and she's running Obi-Wan. So next week, guys, I think next week's could be the best Mandalorian episode of the year. I think we get Obi-Wan next week, by the way.
What? No, stop.
No,
Don't
I'm
tease me.
I'm serious. I think Obi-Wan's going to be in that episode. I'm not kidding you. It's going to be a flashback scene. That's
Okay.
what I think. During one of his flashback scenes, I think they've been holding that back, and Deborah Chow is directing next week's episode.
Oh, God.
So
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I've got this feeling that
Well,
that's where we get Obi-Wan.
I'm assuming you're talking about whenever he's hiding and somebody comes to his rescue. Are you still thinking? You think that's going to be it?
I think it's going to be Obi-Wan that opens the.
That- Take my
I
money.
think so too. I would agree with that.
Take my money.
But we were also thinking that Boba Fett would be the payoff for last week's episode. But
Yeah.
still could be.
We've got a lot of theories on that. Me
I
and
think
Lord
it's Greek Targa.
me and Lord Callis think that's Cad Bane. Actually,
Yeah,
Oh, that would be dope. Oh,
yeah, I think that's absolutely.
Man, don't tease me with that one. That sounds amazing.
God, dang.
I've been binging Clone Wars trying to get all that fresh in my mind, and I mean he's just he's a standout.
Yeah, I mean, and if it's not Bane, I think that the other possibility would be Sabine Wren, because when you think about the gunslingers in the universe right now, there's only really Cad Bane, there was Jango Fett, and there was and I'm talking about on screen, and then there was Jango Fett, Cad Bane, and Sabine Wren. Those are the ones that come to my mind, when I think about gunslingers. And then I think about how, Filoni is the one bringing two of those to life. So
Possible.
yeah, absolutely.
I'd be happy.
Was an interesting comment made during today's episode. The Twi'lek that he seemed to have had relations with at some point made an interesting comment when she said, "I know who you really are."
Yeah.
And I was like, huh, interesting. I thought that was an interesting comment, and it kind of raised my eyebrows for a couple of minutes anyway. I was like, that's kind of interesting that she said it the way she said it. In implying we should know this guy, maybe. I mean, that's how it was said, like to the audience, you're going to know this guy. So I don't know. I still don't want it to be Boba. I don't actually.
Yeah. The way I interpreted that was more like, he's honor bound now. He's, all about his code now. And, the way that it sort of resonated with me was more that she knows who he was before that.
I got you. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like she knows the real Mandalorian, and now he's this person, but the person that she
he's evolved, but we've seen flashes of what I think he was, or he used to be.
Yeah.
What he can tap into. Yeah.
Exactly.
Man, when he decides to go ape, he goes ape. He does. Okay, so we're going to do this like we always do it every week. We're going to go around. We're going to do scale 1 to 10, and then we'll come back around and talk about what we liked, what we didn't like about the episode. And our illustrious guest tonight, Flipped Out, is going to go first. Very quickly, Snow Dub, what's up? How are you tonight? Cinedave, hello.
What's up, Snow?
Flipped Out, scale 1 to 10, hit us.
Boy, oh boy. It was a good episode. Some of the acting was a little iffy, but I'd go with, I'd say 8.5 for me. I really liked the X-Wings that sold me at the end a lot. I liked it the first go-round, though. And what really sucks is I had to watch it in segments. Like, I saw the first 30 minutes, and then I couldn't watch anymore. I had to go do something.
Oh, no.
So when I finally finished, I was like, damn, I had to rewatch it. But I go with 8.5.
Okay. Foxy, hit us.
You know, I look at this pretty critically. I really do. I want to love it, but I'm cautious. I watched it, I've said it, I think at least 3 times today. And upon further review, some of the issues I had were sort of resolved because you pick up on things. Oh, I see, like one issue I had was when Bill Burr's character is able to take out 3 droids by himself, where before he couldn't handle 4. Well, that's because he kind of got the drop on him. He was behind him. So that was just one example of something that I had an issue with, but that it makes sense now. At the end, I don't know that, what was it, Berg? I don't know that he should have lived. The blast door, that should have decapitated him, but that's a little minor problem I had. I think that, because the way he was positioned, it looked like the blast doors would have just, cut his head off. So other than that, this is a really, really good episode. The action was good. I think the acting was there were a few examples of some iffy stuff there, but for me, it was all on point. I went back critically looking at the X-Wings to make sure they got those correct. The cockpits, the actual models themselves. It's an 8. It's a great episode.
Lord Callus.
Now, keep in mind, you guys have seen it a couple of times. I've only seen it once, and that was right before I came on, because typically I watch it before I go to work, then I get home, and I can watch it again. So I see it usually at least twice before we do this.
Fair enough.
I've only seen it one time, and it was right before we came on. So for me, are we doing the review, or we're just giving the number?
Just the number, and then we'll come back around and start talking.
Just the number, probably a 7.5 if I have to. I'm gonna probably say like a 7.5.
Okay. I have a feeling you're going to experience the same thing I did this morning. When I do my review, I normally watch it twice before I do my review. I watched it once, and I gave it a 7.5. I said it was a good, not great episode, blah, blah, blah. I literally shut the machine down, went back in there, turned it back on, and watched it again, and went, damn, I got to change my review in the comment section because it went way up. I noticed little things I did not notice the first time around, and I was like, holy shit, he went full John Wick 3 again in this thing. Yeah. Because when you come back and watch it again, the pace slows down a little bit for you so you can sort of consume it all and breathe it all in. And you're like, he murked the hell out of a bunch of folks in the last half of that. And there was just some great Filoni. I always pronounce the director's name wrong. Lord Callus, Rick Fukuyama. Is that right?
Something like.
They were both in the X-Wings.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I had to go back. And I'm like, yeah, that is her. Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay.
When I saw her, I was like, oh, she looks familiar, but I was that's why, damn it.
That's it. Yeah, I thought that was a great little touch.
I have since watched it 3 more times after I got home from work, knowing we was doing this, and I was like, my God, it's actually, I think it's my second favorite episode now. behind episode 3. I've actually dropped episode 1 down a little bit now. I thought the Baby Yoda reveal, nothing was going to top that. But after I watched episode 3 again sometime last week, I was like, man, this is the best episode for sure.
Yeah.
I really liked seeing Bill Burr being Bill Burr in this thing. He was himself. I mean, he literally played himself as an ex-Imperial sharpshooter.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian called him out on not being able to shoot, and he turned around. And he was like, "I wasn't no damn stormtrooper," you know, and that was funny because we all know stormtroopers can't shoot.
Yeah. Except in the books.
Yeah, except in the books, right? I thought the space stuff looked a lot better this time around. It looked cinematically a little bit stronger than in some previous episodes. A little bit of the space flying was a little iffy for me. It was a little
fiction-y.
It leaned a little more towards sci-fi TV movie.
Yeah.
But today it felt more like you're watching a Star Wars movie. All of a sudden, when boom, them X-wings come in, you're like, holy shit. We got 3 X-wings that just, you know, put their squalls up. They're ready to go, and they fly in there and start dropping on that place. Is Mark Boone Jr.'s character, Big Boy from Sons of Anarchy, is he going to end up still being alive, you think?
Yeah.
At the end?
Yeah, definitely.
Because he turned around and started walking off when he saw those X-wings.
Yeah, he made his escape, man. He's not a list, but on this show, you know, he's going to be. They're going to book him for one show. You know.
Yeah. I knew his name immediately. I mean, I watched every episode of Sons of Anarchy, so I was like, "Holy shit! Look who that is." Okay, flipped out. Give me something you felt like might have been an issue for you in this episode.
Issue, yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say that it is great to be on another stream with 19K Fox. It seems like every time I stream, we're on the same stream. And it's great to finally stream with Lord Callis. And good to be back with you, Rhodes.
Absolutely, man. We're glad to have you.
So the last thing, the first thing and the last thing that really, you know, affected me was the acting. It's the Twilight chick. She kept licking her teeth like, and I just bothered me. I was like, stop doing that, you know? It's like a method acting thing or something. And you're talking to a method actor, so I could imagine how I can annoy people too. But that annoyed me. And then when her brother gets there, spoilers, I guess everyone knows that. He's doing the same thing. What is with that? I've never seen Twilight do that. I guess it's a weird family, like Gilbert says later. But
I was like, hiss one more time. I dare you. It got on my nerves too after watching it in some follow-up times. I was like, why does she keep doing this? One time was sufficient to prove a point. Yeah. Absolutely. Anybody have an issue with Bill Burr? I didn't. I liked Bill Burr in this thing. He actually said that, you know, he turned this down initially. Like, he wasn't going to be in it. No, he was like, Jon Favreau called him, said, hey, you want to be in Star Wars? And he was like, hell no, I don't want to be in Star Wars. He was like, I used to beat up motherfuckers that was Star Wars fans when I was in high school. And he hung up the phone, and his wife looked at him and said, are you nuts? Pick up the phone and call him back right now. And he sat there and he was like, she said, you turned down Star Wars. And he thought, Oh shit! So he picked up the phone and called Jon Favreau back as quick as he could,
Oh,
and
yeah.
was like, "Yeah, I'll be in this."
Don't hit
They
the-
shot all of his scenes in one day. I
Wow.
saw. Yeah, it's pretty
really?
wild. Yeah,
Yeah. That's a testament to him, though.
Yeah.
yeah,
I thought it would take longer
absolutely.
'cause he wouldn't be able to get through a take without cussing.
Oh yeah. Did,
I,
did you
I
guys
thought about that.
did you guys hear that they film everything on a soundstage? There's no location shooting. Doesn't that blow
They-
you-
They did
Better
some
though.
location shooting, like they had to build some stuff and then they went out, but almost all of it was exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
Yeah.
could see it with this episode in particular. I could see that. Yeah. It's all contained.
That is, you're right about this episode.
I did have a bit of an issue with Clancy Brown, who played the devil character.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out when the blast door slammed, why aren't you dead? When the
Yeah.
second blast door slammed, I was like, oh, he's toast.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, he's in a cell. I'm like, how did this happen? That's the toughest
I mean,
son of a bitch
his
ever.
horns were clipped, but still, that should have been a decapitation. He should have been dead.
Yeah.
The blast doors looked like they were they were just close up to the other door.
Yeah. I think JP wants in here. Let me see if I can shoot him a leak. Guys, y'all carry for a half sec here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, again, it was only one viewing for me right before I came here, but I thought it looked great. I think the actors, everybody did a good job, but like the Deveronian for me, I don't know, like that just, it's not to say that they're all one type, but I've never seen a hulking Deveronian. They're always usually more slender in build. And then the fact that he took the fire to the face, I have to go and check that because I didn't know that Deveronians were impervious to fire. I mean, he took that flame like full on in his face. Like I could have just missed it, but that makes me want to look that up. So he was kind of like for me, and like you guys said, also she got. I think her character was pretty cool. Like I loved how awesome she was with her daggers.
Yep.
I mean, she was killing those throwing knives, but she got annoying. The little and all right, we get it. You're you're the creepster. We got you. But so that was just a little too much for me. But I don't know. This was the first episode that I felt like it felt incomplete for me. I've never walked away. I never was left feeling like that's it. And this one kind of made me feel like that. It felt like it did great for the first half, like building the story. And then it was like, okay, we got to go. Let's finish this up. That's how it felt for me. So that's why I went with that.
I really liked some of the sequences, like when he was stalking Bill Burr and the strobe flashing was going,
That
and
was nuts.
he kept cutting in and out. Somebody in the comments section brought up the fact that was reminiscent of a scene that's in Alien, where as the strobe's going, you see an alien, then you can't, and then you see one, and then you can't, as it got closer and closer, and then boom, all of a sudden he's behind there, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like that because it was a horror movie feel. It was a impending doom on Bill Burr during that particular scene, and I thought it had good tension. Let's get JP in here.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
There he
How
is.
you doing?
I don't know, my camera's not working for some reason, but yeah, I guess the yellow looks kind of nice though, right?
Yeah, you got you a nice logo going on. How are you, man?
I don't know, pretty good. I didn't have a chance to see episode 6 yet. I see you guys are talking about episode 6, but I was thinking about Rise of Skywalker and like if I actually wanted to see it in the theater, because like obviously at first it's like I don't really want to see it. I don't want Disney to get the money. But I've got a lot of people like, we really want to see what you think, man. You know, some new people, some old people. So I'm contemplating seeing it, but I don't think I can.
Just look, me and Matrix asked ourselves that same question, and we took a step back and said, look, I've got subs that are asking me to go see this because they want to come to my channel and get a honest review. And I would just look at it this way. You've got what, 1,700 subs, 1,800 subs?
Okay, Rhodes. Basically, you have an active subscriber number. So I have about 200 subscribers. So if you've got 1,000, well, I've got 200 watching videos, liking, commenting, okay? If you go into analytics and like morning fame, so take like, you know, like Jeremy or like a big channel, they probably got about 30, 40K who's watching a bunch of videos. So it's not like just a number like 17, 16, you know, 200,000. So it's really about 200 people for me personally in my analytics. If you check your analytics, then I don't know, you probably have about maybe whatever, 125, 150 or something. It's not about a number in the thousands. You know, it's kind of a very small number.
Well, how many of those loyal subs do you think want you to give a honest review on?
Probably most of the active ones, which is like 200, I'd say.
Then I would probably go see the movie.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. But on the other hand, there's a lot of people who feel pretty strongly about actually, not that I can do the theater switch thing, you know, but
I don't. The only issue that I take is with that stance, Rhodes, is that you won't give an objective review. If you don't want to go see it, and you're only going to see it to placate to people, like you're not gonna. You're already going with the idea that you don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so, okay, there we go.
It doesn't mean I'm not open to the idea that the movie could shock me. In other words, I could go in there, and as hard as it is to believe, I guess I could go in there and there's a chance that J.J. Abrams could give us the Revenge of the Sith of the sequel trilogy out of nowhere. Okay?
Well, if that's the case, you're not going just for your subs. You're going for, if nothing else, a curiosity.
Yeah, and I do have curiosity. Sure, I absolutely got curiosity about it, you know.
All right, let me say this. Let me see, Lord Cal. It's both. Obviously, I'm curious to see it. You know, I think we all are curious to see it. Even if it's terrible, you want to see the train wreck. You want to see what's so bad about it. It's really interesting. Yeah. So it's not a cut and dry thing like this or that. It's really both. You know, so it's just like if I had the chance to see it one day early, yeah, obviously that would be pretty good. You know, if I'm here in Japan, I could walk in the theater 24 hours early, then I think there's a lot of people going to want to hear my opinion on it, you know? But at the same time, I'm a small channel, even, you know, so it's like, it's tough, because I'm going to say this, I hate them from the bottom of my heart for The Last Jedi. I really do, I hate them. I'm the real deal, so it really wouldn't feel good going in there, unless I did the old switcheroo. It really wouldn't feel good paying for it, even if it's only $20, you know?
Well, see, then, like, I don't know. Hack, I wouldn't go then, because then you're sort of compromising your own integrity.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just, if you feel that strongly about it, and the only reason why you would go is because of some clicks, you know, I don't know. If you're gonna walk out of the theater and feel like a cheap date, you know what I mean? Like you just did something dirty. Like, oh, I need to wash that off.
Kind of. Well, yes, kind of. But you know, there is, on the other hand, I am here, and if I had a chance, there are people who want to know for themselves to see it or not. You know, I've definitely got some people depending on me that will take my advice. Like, you know, so like I'm saying, it's tough. It's not like a one-shot decision. There's kind of multiple layers to the decision, but it is a chance that I didn't really anticipate, you know, going into it. And like you, I've got kids. I saw your kid back there. That was kind of nice the way. Yeah. So I got kids too, so I might not be able to do it. But if I did have the chance, it's tempting. It's tough.
Yeah.
Even
I can tell you're struggling with it,
Yeah, it's
though.
tough.
Like morally, you're having a struggle there. I get it. I get it. I mean, I was rooting and hoping that this movie would be good until about a month ago, and this whole new round of leaks dropped, and I was like, my God, what happened here? And my hope, I had some hope, okay? And I wish I could tell you I still have that hope, but I really don't. I really don't. But I've said, if I go in there and I like the movie, I will come out and I will get on my channel and I will say, look, I really enjoyed this movie, and I don't give a damn how anybody else is.
The problem is this: if they're bringing Palpatine back already, how can you might not like that? That really defeats the purpose of Vader and Luke and that thing you've had in your head. Even off the bat, how could you even like the movie?
I hate that.
Let's ask Fox. Fox, I apologize. You're kind of, let's ask Fox this question.
Well, I got. I still have not seen Captain Marvel for the same reasons you're articulating there. I hate what her comments. I hate what that movie sort of does. How it usurps everything that happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You're going to just introduce this character, and so I have not supported that film. This is a little bit different.
This is completely different. This is something I've loved since I was 5. Brie Larson just go to hell. Whatever.
That's not really a struggle, I guess. But for me, I gave The Last Jedi. I bought 4 tickets to that movie, The Last Jedi, and I can't get that money back. So I don't feel as bad giving money to Disney once again, I guess, if we're talking about that perspective. But at the end of the day, I need to see this. I'm a completist. I love Star Wars, what it was, and I've got to see this, witness this for myself, and just know for myself with my own eyes what they've done. So,
well, that's another problem. Is it really Star Wars? Like, are we really witnessing something that's Star Wars here? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I could buy a franchise that I don't know dick about and make a movie. It doesn't mean it's actually, a valid continuation to that movie, If I bought Toy Story, I've never seen a Toy Story like in completion. I could write a Toy Story at random, and I bought it and I own the rights. Is it really Toy Story? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just technically bought the logo.
Yeah, yeah, you bought it, and
I get it. I get it. I've actually got subs that keep asking me, have I seen Knives Out? And I'm like, and repeatedly they have asked me, will you please review Knives Out? And I've told them, objectively, I cannot be objective about a Rian Johnson film. I can't.
Yeah,
it's not fair for me to go in and see this movie. I mean, when I went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Knives Out trailer was shown, and when they put up there a whodunit from Last Jedi director Rian Johnson, I was visibly flushed with anger for about 4 seconds. I was like, just seeing his name on screen and knowing that somebody's using that as a selling point for another piece of media, in my mind, that is ludicrous, right? And I've actually heard the movie is good, by the way. I've actually heard it's good from multiple people. And some that hated The Last Jedi have said it was actually a good movie. I still cannot be objective because, and I hate to say I hate somebody. I know it's not, that's not me to just come out and say I hate somebody.
Well, professionally, you can say that professionally.
You hate what he did.
Yeah.
He destroyed something so precious to so many people.
Yeah. Well, that's arguable. I think he was just doing what he was told. I think if they would have said make Luke the amazing hero, he would have done it. He's just the hitman, basically.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
I think he relished the opportunity to destroy Luke Skywalker. I do. Yeah.
It seemed like
he said didn't he make the statement he wanted to make a Star Wars movie to divide that would divide the fans? I mean, that was out of his mouth.
He's got an interview from 20 years ago at USC where he said, "I feel like I made a good movie if 50% of everybody hates it."
That's right.
Okay.
You rat
Here's
bastard, you know?
But if Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger and his administration said, "Hey, you got to make Luke the hero. You're not going to make this divisive," he'd be like, "Yeah, okay, I'm not going to make it divisive." That's why they got him, because he was going to do whatever they said. You know, he was a very small. No one knew who he was. They got rid of Trevallo. They didn't want JJ for 2 because these guys have a little bit of their own weight, their own say, a little bit of like a fight in them. Ryan Johnson has no fight. He's pretty much a lapdog, and they just smack him around, say, "Do this," and he does it. So I don't like him either, but I'm just saying, you know, and what they also want to do is take heat off of themselves. You know, this is the new guy. Let him take all the fall. You know, let Ryan Johnson take all the fall. Everyone's going to hate him. No one forgot about Kathleen Kennedy, but there's a lot of other people, like the story group, that people don't mention as much, you know?
Carrie Hart, I've got the same animosity towards her, too. You know,
Bob Iger came out as saying that they wanted to get rid of the original fandom altogether.
Right.
Day one. I mean, I will give you that argument. Just because they didn't fit he didn't want to. Women and children are the number one demographic to them. So, they wanted to knock off the original fans. And I think it's because they maybe in their agreement with George Lucas that there's a royalty paid to him for the original characters when they're on screen or when they're used and sold as toys. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I think they underestimated. Number one, when they bought Star Wars, I think they thought as long as we have that logo, it won't matter. We can make these stories about anything we want them to and slap a Star Wars logo on it, and people will buy it, and they won't think twice about it. What they did not realize is Star Wars is like any other entity, like DC. You think about DC, you think about what? Batman, Superman, right? It's like them killing Superman or Batman of the Star Wars franchise. And they underestimated the fans, the significance of Luke's character to everything. Every piece of Star Wars storytelling, anything extends.
Either that, or they were
Luke.
that calculated, and they realized how important he was, and knew that with his destruction would actually accomplish the goal that Flip was just talking about. Because that's absolutely the reason why I hate The Last Jedi. If they had preserved Luke Skywalker, I would forgive The Last Jedi. If Luke Skywalker was who Luke Skywalker is, like how we know Luke Skywalker to be,
Right.
I could walk away from The Last Jedi and say that movie sucked, but let me get to 9.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that. What they did to Luke was what was devastating to me for the franchise, because I enjoyed The Force Awakens.
that's what Knives Out showed me. He is a very competent writer-director. So everything that was done in The Last Jedi was completely intentional. It was designed. I mean, and you're right, Callus. They were that cold and calculated. They wanted to just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's kill Luke now, divide the fandom, and we can move forward with our audience.
I still don't understand how you kill him off in the middle film of a trilogy.
It might have been part Bob Iger and the board at Disney, but then also Ryan Johnson saying, "Ooh, I can do whatever I want." And he probably asked Kathleen Kennedy, "Well, is it cool if I do this?" And they were like, "Oh, well, we were going to kill him off anyway." I don't know.
They weren't going to. I mean, that wasn't the original plan. Colin Trevorrow left because of the changes that were made to Luke and his character in The Last Jedi. I mean, he had plans for Luke in his movie.
So it was.
Yeah, and there's interviews where Mark Hamill was talking about initially he and JJ had, Luke standing on the ledge and I don't know if he was hovering, but there was rocks floating around him and he was in the Force. And Ryan made that change because that wasn't where he wanted to take 8. And once Colin saw that, he was out of 9. He left. That was the creative differences. He didn't want any part of it.
Yeah, he said he didn't want Luke to still have that connection to the Force.
Yeah.
At the end of the Force Awakens, and that's why that was removed. Because JJ had him
Ryan Johnson
all these boulders
surgically did. I mean, it was all cold cal. It was planned. He knew exactly what he was doing. He had his goal in mind, and he did it. He cut him out, and in my opinion, destroyed the greatest cinematic character ever, or one of.
Well, and I've never, in all honesty, I've never been a Luke guy, but
shame.
Hey, my favorite Jedi is Obi-Wan. So, Ewan McGregor, I in the prequels, I thought he was awesome.
Well, I can't argue that. I
mean, he is badass, but
and
not better than Luke though.
But as I got into YouTube and started talking to all of these creators, and so many YouTube creators are huge Luke guys and gals, okay? They love Luke Skywalker, okay? The entire basis of their Star Wars fandom is built around Luke. And I told John Matrix, I said, the first thing I would have done if I was JJ and I'd have been brought back, I'd have said, listen, I'm not signing back on if the opening scene of this movie is not flash to an empty room, flash to an empty location, something, Luke Skywalker appears, and he has simply teleported himself somewhere else. He would have been alive. I don't care how damn silly it may have come across. He would have been alive first thing in this movie in order to immediately close that hole right there that's been left in the fandom. Just bring Luke back. Let's get it over with, regardless of how weird it might even look, because John Matrix will tell me it's got to be done right in the story, and I'm telling him, John, a lot of fans don't give a damn how it's done. He can ride in the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard, and as long as he's driving it and he's alive, they don't care. They just want to see Luke return alive and be alive into the movie, you know? And look, I don't know most of their merchandise other than the Mandalorian. Good luck. I don't know how they sell anything, you know.
Have you bought any Mandalorian merchandise? Anybody?
Oh yeah.
I have, yeah.
Sweet.
Black Series Mandalorian. You can't even find them anymore. I ordered another one. I can't even get that one until May.
Damn.
They're going on eBay for $100, some of them.
Wow.
Yeah, they've got one called the Carbonite Mandalorian.
Yeah, I saw that one, yeah.
And I went to order it off of Target the other day, and it said $149.95, and it was sold out.
Yes.
I was like, whoa, okay,
Yes.
never mind. I wanted it, but I don't want it. I don't want it that bad. Okay.
I even got an off-world Jawa, you know, Black Series.
Did you get that one?
I did. I got that one. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna do an unboxing. I found the Chinese website on eBay a Mandalorian helmet that I think looks pretty close. It looks pretty legit. It's rigid. It's not foam. It's not soft. So when I get that, I'll do an unboxing and I'll show it off. If it's good, well, I don't care if it's crappy. I'll show it off too. So.
Oh, yeah. I would too, man.
I'm gonna jump out. But I just want to jump in for a minute because I knew I'd get interrupted. Because if I did live streams, this would happen every time, which is why I don't do live streams. But yeah, you're absolutely right. If Luke just came back, it wouldn't really matter. The story it had to. If it made some kind of sense, you know, like he appeared somewhere else, you know, no one would care.
Yeah,
He'd be back. He would be
and
back.
yeah, Rob, I saw everything Star Wars. Yeah, I'm doing a live. I did it. I got about 15 minutes through. So, but you guys get a nice panel, so thanks for letting me jump in.
Take care, JP. Take care of that young one, man.
outstanding.
Have a good night. Hey, the very first guy to bring me into this community, I had 12
He was the first one
subscribers.
for me too.
EH. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And he had like 67 subs. That's how long ago that's been. Yep.
Good guy.
Yeah. He's been a connective tissue for a lot of people in the community.
It's true.
And meeting and growing and everything. All right. Since he got us all liquored up on The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, and Lord Callis, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to go into the movie with an open enough mind that if this thing ends up being great, I ain't going to give a shit. You know, I'll go on my channel and I'll be like, this thing's great. I may lose 30 subs immediately, but I'll say it. I'll get on here and be like, you know what? The leaks were terrible, but goddamn, they executed it perfectly.
Yeah.
And they landed the dismount, you know, and people forget one key thing. Right before Endgame come out, all the leaks for Endgame came out, and people were furious. This is gonna suck. This movie, it sounds terrible. There's time travel, the way they do it, blah, 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 blah. $2.7 billion later. and me having seen the movie in the theater 3 times, even after seeing the leaks, going, God, this looks terrible. Hey, I liked the movie a great deal. It was about execution, and they executed it for the most part well.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. A lot of times it has to do with, execution. It's the Anakin thing. It's the Anakin Palpatine thing that's got me so concerned about this movie. I think my entire enjoyment of this movie surrounds the ending involving Palpatine. It scares the hell out of me as a Star Wars fan.
Not even the ending involving him, just him being there at all. Him being there at all, it just undermines the prophecy. It undermines Anakin absolutely. Like it's even in the new canon, as they've as we learned through the Force mystics or the Jedi mystics, that there were a number of different prophecies, right? And there's one, and I don't want to. It speaks to a girl who is born of darkness and returns to darkness, or something along those lines. If they choose to use that prophecy, then that's fine. Like, work on that one. I'm speaking from the new canon, but the prophecy of the chosen one in the new canon remains intact. You have not only Dooku, but Qui-Gon Jinn. You've got what is his name? Rael Averross, who is Dooku's first apprentice. All of these that studied all of those prophecies, and especially paid attention to the chosen one, the prophecy of the chosen one, and we saw that one realized. So by us bringing Palpatine back, it tears that apart. It tears the work of Anakin apart. He's then no longer the chosen one. And whomever it is, and then at that point, even if Rey kills him, doesn't make her the chosen one, because there are no other Sith. So to destroy the Sith, Anakin Skywalker is the only Jedi to destroy the Sith wholly and completely. He's the only one to ever have done that. By his redemption, he destroyed the apprentice, and by him killing Palpatine, the Emperor, he destroyed the Master. He's the only one to ever have done that. Okay? So for them to bring him back means that the prophecy has not happened at all, because the Sith do not exist. It's an ideology. It's a philosophy. So we know Snoke is not Sith. We know Kylo Ren is not Sith.
Right.
So what is the purpose of it? If she destroys him, we still have an unfulfilled prophecy.
It's just wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Lord Callus. If actually, I guess for all you guys, if they ever, I don't know, shelved it and all we got was Star Wars TV shows for a while, and let's say that did fine for a while, then that failed, and they sold it, and the next production company decanonized Star Wars, because that's what I want. I want all this decanonized. So it's a dream I have. Yeah. Would you guys be on board with them decanonizing these last 3 movies only?
Immediately.
Absolutely.
It would be great. I think it's kind of a pipe dream at this point.
But
I see the reason you say that is because I don't know that there is a real way to undo the damage done by 8. I mean, you have to scrap it. You have to start over. I don't know that that's ever going to happen. I think they'll just do what they're doing. You know, they're trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit with this last movie. Just like, what do we do? Let's just cobble something together and see what happens. And then we'll be left with, meh. This is sort of what we did. Mm-hmm. We did, your prophecies be damned, legacy be damned, your characters be damned. This is just it. And you can choose to partake of it or you can leave it alone. And I don't think anybody's going to pick this up and run with it. I think we're going to be sort of, okay, that's fine. Let's focus on Mandalorian. Let's focus on what happened, after the last, or the Return of the Jedi, and that 30-year gap. Maybe let's play in that field and then within that, in that sandbox there, we can have references to Skywalker, a young Luke. I mean, we can have these things, whether it's an animation or TV series or whatever, and maybe they can give us, something there to chew on. But yeah, there's no fixing the damage done by 8.
Right.
So right. Yes, you're right. Decanonize it and start over.
To answer reimagining Star Wars, Rey killing Sidious does not make her the chosen one, because the prophecy of the chosen one says that, first of all, the prophecy of the chosen one, and this is still in canon, it reads that a child will be born without mother or father. It states that in the new canon. A child will be born without mother or father, and he, it says, will destroy the Sith. So Sidious returning, understand, does not destroy the Sith. Do you understand that? Like, the Sith are master and apprentice.
The rule of 2, yeah.
Yes, the rule of 2.
Right.
And so they have to carry on that philosophy, that ideology, and it has to be passed down. That's why they say the lineage starts at Bane, because Bane took from the prophets, from the holocron of Revan, of Darth Revan. He got the idea from the holocron of Darth Revan, and he sort of instituted, if you will, conceptualized or further conceptualized the idea of the rule of 2. And then he continued that lineage. So that lineage dates back to Darth Bane. If you are not a part of that lineage, then you are not Sith, as it was understood, right? So that's why, for example, Darth Tyrannus or Count Dooku, for example, when Asajj Ventress is like, "Oh, I am Sith," he's like, "You're not Sith. You're not Sith. I'm just training you, right? Essentially, you're just a dark side user." Yeah. Right. Just because somebody uses the dark side does not make them Sith. But the point being that Sidious would not be complete. So her destroying Sidious would not make her the chosen one, because she did not destroy both the master and the apprentice. She would have just destroyed however he came back. Yes, I understand that Revan is not canon. I get that. I completely understand that. But Darth Bane is. The rule of 2 is.
Yes.
Okay.
So do you think they'll try to make Kylo the apprentice?
That's a good one.
Because in the latest trailer, we see Palpatine say, "I have been the voice in your head, forever. Every voice in your head. So he's appeared to him.
But if he hasn't studied the ways of the Sith, remember, it's not just you waking up and saying, I'm Sith today.
Right.
You can't do that. And he, out of his own mouth, we recognize that both Snoke and Kylo Ren are not Sith. They're not Sith. And in fact, Kylo Ren, if you're reading the novelizations, because both the Force Awakens as well as The Last Jedi, because I read both novelizations, his powers are more inclined to light side powers. When you think about it, he uses stasis, he uses mind reading. His powers are more inclined to the light side than the dark side. And that struggle within him, it's not as simple as him just claiming Sith. You can't just wake up and claim Sith as the prophecy understood it or was recognizing for that balance of the Force. He is balanced. He's just trying to change the balance. Remember that. Right. Kylo Ren was balanced. He had light and dark side within him, fighting. He's the one trying to make the dark side win.
Jay doesn't have Force lightning or anything. Kylo.
No, he was trained as a Jedi. I mean, he was trained on the light side of the Force, so that makes all the sense in the world. He's just trying to use those powers in an evil way.
There you go.
Using Sith powers themselves.
Yeah. He killed Han Solo to try to force himself further into the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I wish they would have flipped Rey in The Last Jedi. I wish she'd went to the dark side. I think his whole thing would have, number one, if Luke lived and Rey went to the dark side, that would have made things wildly more interesting all of a sudden, And then if you want to have Kylo flip at the end of episode 9 and strike Rey down, that's pretty interesting, But again, that's that whole female whatever empowerment thing that they got going on over there. They're not going to. The theory is they were never going to let her go dark because of what they were trying to do. Okay, I'm looking at these leaks, and at the very end, there is some things that were concerning of the person that leaked it, and they basically got asked some frequently asked questions. Number one, is Anakin in the movie? The answer was he was not in the movie at all that they noticed. What I will tell you is there were incarnations of the movie at one time. Hayden did shoot scenes for this movie a long time ago. A long time ago. So at some point, JJ had him in this movie. The other thing that is sort of disturbing lately that I picked up the other day was essentially Luke is not in this movie. He is only in the movie for maybe one little Force Ghost scene at the very, very end of it. And I mean very end of it. And
I'd almost rather him not be in it at all than
his voice. And that's it. There was a time when he had up to 15 minutes of screen time in this movie.
Is this JJ giving up because people above him wanted it to go a certain way?
Kathleen Kennedy did, in fact, overrule JJ.
The first interview that we saw from JJ was he said, F it. I mean, he's just saying at this point, he's just going to do whatever. I think lore and legacy be damned. I mean, the leaks I've heard, it's insane, guys. She's going to be passing Leia's lightsaber to Kylo through the Force. I mean, it's insanity. I mean, it's just there's no basis in anything that I've seen on screen, and from what I understand, there's not much basis in in the EU. Really, it's not going to be. It's not attached for me to Star Wars. This is a almost like a what if, one-off comic book or something. It really. It's just insane. If the leaks that I've seen are true, it's going to be a mess, guys.
It feels like an alternate,
Yeah.
alternate universe Star Wars that they've come up with.
Yeah. I mean, that was legit. I mean, one of the, and I don't, Rose, maybe you've heard this leak too, but one of the leaks is Kylo's getting, his ass kicked by the Knights of Ren, and then Rey passes him Leia's saber through the Force. And now he's able to fight back. What is that? What is that? What does that have any? Maybe Lord Callis, does that get any basis anywhere?
No, not at all. And what I don't even understand is why now all of a sudden when we do see the Knights of Ren, are they his enemies? When he's master of the Knights of Ren.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
It's hinting, I think, that he's going to reject not the dark side, but the evil. He's going to turn good, and then they're going to turn on him, and it's so just convoluted because nothing's been built up either. I mean, we've said this before. When you see the clips from them, Rey and Kylo are fighting, and it's a lightsaber battle on the wreckage of the Death Star, and the waves are crashing. I'm so detached. I don't care. I don't care. I've seen this before. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying, I can't wait till this happens or this happens. Finally, this will happen. Maybe if Ren or if Finn gets his due and he's not, being raised, bitch. Maybe that would be something to cheer for. But it's just there's just nothing here for me. So I'm going in to see it, to complete it, to see what they've done. But I have no expectations for this to be good at all.
There's only one light at the end of the tunnel for me, as far as one thing I wanted to see in this movie that's going to happen.
What's that?
It looks like Lando and Chewie are both going to live.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. They didn't kill off two old characters, And 3PO gets his memory back before the movie's over.
And the Falcon stays intact.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
I know.
It's a lot of negative stuff. I mean, I hate it too because I'm sure there's nothing more that any of us would like to do than sit here and talk very positively about Star Wars. But that's why you've got the Mandalorian as your background here. This is a good thing that I say let's just get it over with, just chop the head off, be done with it. They've already greased us up with their Disney lube, and we're ready to go. So let's just go ahead and do what you got to do. Let me pull my pants up and move on.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go. Keep going.
Oh, well, the Mandalorian is good, but I also feel kind of dirty watching it. It's like a guilty pleasure. I watch it and I go, oh yeah, but I've totally been screwed every other way, 6 ways from Sunday. Should I like this? I mean, I do like it. I know I like it.
But you should. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, that's really all we want. We want to like Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's just it's almost like, well, I guess he did say it in that interview where he doesn't want us to like Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And that's evident with, even though, and no disrespect for anybody that did like The Last Jedi, but Last Jedi is what did it for me. But I liked The Force Awakens, like I said. I liked Solo. I liked Rogue One. Those were good, decent movies for me. They didn't do anything to destroy the lore for me. And I enjoyed them. Last Jedi, that's a different story. And the expectation that was coming from or out of the Force Awakens, The Last Jedi could have been such an amazing movie. And again, no disrespect for anybody who did think it was an amazing movie, but for those of us that kind of wanted to see, Rey be the Skywalker, since this is a Skywalker saga, I understand when people say that they like the idea of her not being anybody. And I get that. But why put her in the Skywalker saga then? Let that have been its own movie. You know, and then I would have probably enjoyed it for what it was. Take the legacies out of that trilogy and let that trilogy be what it is. And then in this one, let us complete the saga. You cannot fundamentally change the main character's character in the middle of the saga. This started with Luke, right? Skywalker. The prequel trilogy was about Anakin Skywalker. This needs to be about whomever Skywalker. That's how the saga needed to play out. You had the son, you had the father, then we should have had the son's child.
Yes. I mean, I think George even said that this is about grandchildren. You know, you have the father and the son and grandchildren. You know, 3 generations. You know, here is their story. Here's what we've had the EU. We've had all these things. We've had all this excitement building towards that, and then to just, you know, I was going to say something. I don't know if y'all had the same experience, but I got kids that come over. We got Thanksgiving and all that, and just a few years ago, it was, hey, Dad, look, the Star Wars trailer's on. You know, and we'd stop what we were doing, we'd watch it, you know, and we were all excited, you know. And now it's like they say something to me because they know that how I feel now. It's completely flipped. It's almost like they're making fun of me. It's like, hey, look, Star Wars.
Hey, Dad.
Man, y'all know, you know. And they're older now. They're giving me a hard time, but it's sad that even before The Last Jedi, I was eating up those trailers. Yeah. Ryan, what's 8 going to be about? What are they going to do? Oh, I can't wait to see Luke and all his glory and all that, you know. And now to see where we've come, it's so sad. I mean, I don't know,
it's weird to go to Thanksgiving and everybody wants you to like Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
John Matrix, thank you for the $5, sir. These over-the-top, ridiculous force powers are making the force a joke, a complete joke.
Yes.
I just don't get it. I said when I originally saw The Last Jedi and I did my review, I said there's almost gremlin rules when it comes to Star Wars. There's things you should know you can do and things you should know you can't do. And if you do these things, like feed the fucking force the wrong way after midnight, it's going to turn into a green lizard and tear your life apart, okay? I don't know. The thing that always concerns me about what's going on at Lucasfilm is when us 4 guys could get together in a room and much more competently write a sequel trilogy. Something is fundamentally wrong when you've got a $4 billion+ property.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Exactly.
Really?
We would definitely need Lord Callus. He's got brains on this, man.
Well, I mean, the first thing they did is they just, you know, squashed the EU. You know, and you can't do that. You can't ignore the thing that has kept your franchise alive for literally decades. You know,
The Force Awakens was the easiest. It was the easiest movie in the world to make a sequel from. My God.
Layup.
Yeah.
A layup.
it was T-ball, man. This is simple.
T-ball all day.
Knock it out of the park.
JJ gave you a blueprint. My God, Luke, be Luke. Okay? Luke, train Ray. Good God. Fucking director, don't kill off your villain 35 minutes into the middle movie of a damn trilogy.
Or if you kill Snoke, right? Make Kylo like God level evil, man. I mean, don't still make him bitch. I mean, like
Scary, make him scary.
like, if the intention is to kill Snoke so that he becomes the villain, let him become the villain.
Yes.
You know, there's no redemption arc. Let him become the villain. Palpatine, Vader was not the villain. Palpatine was the villain, right?
Yes.
The redemption was for fucking Vader. and he was able to do what he had to do.
Yeah.
Fucking make Kylo the damn villain. Make him hard body. He needs to go in there, he should kill Finn. Let him kill Finn and Rose.
There you go.
And make him a villain.
Agreed.
And how about you don't have him fight the hero again and have her fucking win yet again? Yeah. Can a bitch lose an appendage one time? I mean, Jesus, God, it's like I'm taking crazy pills here. I mean, what is going on with
the girl? Ain't even got a scratch, man. I mean, I just don't understand. You could have cut that movie up so many different ways. Good God. You know, and you couldn't have damaged anything that came before, and you could build yourself something new. You're exactly right. Make him wide open, badass evil. He killed his dad. We're all on board. We're ready to hate the guy. All right, so go for it. You know, you know, it's Space Hitler. Here we go. You know, he's just murdering everything left and right. You know, have him blow up the Millennium Falcon himself. I mean, go crazy. And then we're all ready to go. We want to see that, but now we're just so devoid of emotion. I'm not into any character.
Yeah.
And not only that, I'm thinking Snoke was supposed to be so badass, and yet this little rookie lightsaber move by Kylo Ren snuck up on him and cut him in half. And to answer your question, Flip, earlier you said you feel dirty, or you made a statement about feeling dirty about the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I look at that. I think Favreau and Filoni are so far superior in their knowledge of Star Wars and their respect of Star Wars, having worked on it back when it was with George.
Yeah.
I don't want to give them a middle finger if they give me a good product. You know, I get it. It all goes into the same hopper, and yeah, it does kind of feel dirty. People ask me, well, why did you go see Solo? Ultimately, there's one director on this planet that George loves like a son besides Dave Filoni and trust immensely.
Howard.
It's Ron Howard. And I wasn't going to fuck Ron Howard over Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy. I get it, but George asked Ron to direct The Phantom Menace, and he turned it down. George was on the set all the time for Solo, and he loves Ron Howard, and I was not going to make Ron Howard pay the price for the two douchebags that ruined the previous movie. I didn't love the movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did I need the movie to even been made? Not really, but I still enjoyed it. It felt a hell of a lot more like Star Wars than The Last Jedi ever thought about feeling.
It was an entertaining movie.
It was just an entertaining little Star Wars movie.
I liked it. My only gripe was that they didn't use that other guy as Han Solo. And that's it. I thought it was good otherwise. But I have to say, I wanted it to do poorly, not because of Ron Howard, because I think he's a great guy, I guess. I don't really know much about him, to be honest. I know I watched him when he was the little kid in the Mayberry. But other than that, I know he's got a hot daughter who also directs Mandalorian.
Yeah, I liked her episode, though. It didn't get... Yeah. I thought it felt like I like the music. I think the music felt like an RPG kind of role-playing game music. It slowed the pace down a bit. Just let us get to know these characters. I liked Cara Dune. I liked what was that? What was her name? Omera. Yeah, like Omera. There's something there. I think she was formerly something or somebody. Yeah,
there's got to be some way to explain that one. Yeah,
something, because she's shooting like a son bitch, and she's and she right, and she's like, I'm not going anywhere. You know, like he's like, they about to come over here with ATSTs and kill us all, and she's like, well, fuck it, they're gonna kill us then, because I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
bring them.
Yeah. No Krill villager is gonna do.
No.
You know, she's somebody.
Hey, a little interesting nerdy tidbit. If you go back and look at that episode and freeze it on her shooting that rifle she had, you've seen that rifle before. It's Bosk's rifle.
Yeah.
It's the same rifle that he has.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yeah, that was an interesting little nugget. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, got to support what you like, hammer what you hate. Look, I've got another creator that me and this person, we swap leaks, and sometimes we give each other some stuff behind the scenes that we agree we're not making videos on, and we ain't going to get specific on. But what I will tell you is, Flip, it's interesting that you talked about you keep hoping somebody else would swoop in and buy Lucasfilm. All I'm going to tell you is there was an offer made on Lucasfilm, by the way. Last year. By another company. I'm not going to go into how much money it was and what studio it was. Of course, they turned it down. You know, Disney did. But I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
That is interesting.
When I got told that, I was like, damn it, sell the thing. You don't want it, you know? So
I don't know who you're hanging out with, but call me. I gotta know that's trippy. Yeah, nobody had that news, Rhodes. Wow, that's interesting.
I didn't. Well,
that would be awesome.
They didn't break it, neither did I. We just both kept. You notice I didn't tell you what studio or how much money it was or anything. Yeah. But yeah, that was an interesting rumor anyway. So, box office predictions: this movie will have high sales first week, and then drop hard the next, and then fans will get blamed for it. CNN came out with an article tonight about how well they think The Rise of Skywalker is going to do, despite the fact that all the sexist something trolls that didn't like the previous movie, and CNN called us sexist and racist again in an article that came out today because we didn't like The Last Jedi. Came out this afternoon. Nerdrotic was going live to talk about it. So, Lord Callis, I didn't know you was a racist and a sexist.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm a racist because I hate that they killed the white man.
Yeah. Makes all the sense in the world.
I hate it when they kill aliens, man. I'm like, man, that's racist.
This shit, I don't.
It's just you try to marginalize your critics, put them in a box so that we can pretend that their opinions don't matter. It's easier than defending the choices that you make.
Yeah, I mean the bottom line is, are some of the people that don't like the movie racist and sexist? Probably. Yeah. And there are probably some that liked it that are racist and sexist. Because the bottom line is there's racist and sexist people all over the damn world. So
that's right.
They're not lumped into one side.
That's a fact. Yeah. Absolutely. Part of this leak, is there an explanation of how Palpatine survived in Return of the Jedi? Quote, it's pretty ambiguous. He's not really alive. It's pretty horrific in that he's basically a corpse puppet on some kind of rigging, but he's able to speak through the body via his spirit.
What's going on?
This is one of the leaks. Yeah, I hadn't heard this.
Yeah. Well, if you notice, which trailer? The final trailer. We didn't see Palpatine, but we saw Rey standing in front of something that looked mechanical floating in the air.
Right.
Palpatine is attached to that, by the way. The front of that somehow.
A piece of the Death Star?
It's some kind of medical thing that's helping him stay alive.
It kind of looked like that chair that Viceroy Gunry was using that walked, that just had all kinds of attachments on it. That's how it sort of looked to me when I saw it the first time in that trailer. But Just bring it. I just don't even need him back. I don't understand. I don't understand the purpose of it.
He's also, quote, all the souls of the past Sith in his body.
What?
Yeah. Eventually he manages to restore life to his actual body. I can't recall if they directly mentioned how the body was still intact, but it was sort of like a horror movie mad scientist lab situation.
It's not possible. He was dropped into a fusion reactor. I mean, like, he's dead.
Yeah.
It blew up.
Yeah.
It blew up.
Is this from someone that saw the movie, Rhodes? Is this
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
or something?
He was killed before they blew up the Death Star. I mean, he was dropped in the reactor before that even happened. It's like a double whammy.
This came from one of the most prominent leakers out there. And then somebody that he had leaked all this prior, by the way. Well, then a couple of nights ago, this dropped from somebody that directly saw the film, and it matched his leaks that he had already dropped prior. So it's like a double whammy of confirmation on the leak. So, do we see any Force Ghost? You will hear voices. They reach out to Rey in her head in her time of need. You hear Mace Windu. Mace Windu? What the fuck?
Luke or Anakin. Like,
where the fuck did Mace Windu come from?
He needs to be alive. He needs to be alive. He needs to be just,
Mace Windu, Yoda, and Luke are the most prominent voices. By the way, this leaker never heard Anakin's voice. Mace Windu, but not Anakin. Man. Anybody?
In the same, I mean, are we talking in the same way that she heard like Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Darth Vader's breathing in the Force Awakens when she touched the lightsaber? Because the thing is, like, that power is called psychometry, and it's one that Quinlan Vos, for example, he was probably the most notable Jedi that could do it. They could touch any object, and through the Force they could relive, or they could hear voices. They would experience whatever through that object. The psychometry is one of the Force powers, but it's not one that all Jedi have. So where is it what's causing her to hear these voices?
Now, if she grabs the Sith dagger and has that, I can maybe understand that.
Yeah, because then she must have psychometry.
Sure. but what Jedi artifact would she be, coming in contact with that would cause that sort of response? I mean, she can't go back to. Well, do we know, was Coruscant destroyed in
no,
The Force Awakens?
Cosmic system.
Okay. So if she was
Coruscant is the center of the universe,
travel back to the original Jedi temple, and maybe but we don't see any of that in the trailer, so I don't know. This seems really convoluted to me because Obi-Wan could only stay a Force Ghost for a time, correct? He had to go into the Force. He could only hang out for a little bit. I mean, I think in that first, So I don't know.
And it doesn't say anything about Obi-Wan either. So, God, okay.
Whew. You know what's funny is I heard a lot of these same things on Fatal's stream last night. I was in the chat, and as I hear them tonight again, it's like I can't believe it. I hear it over and over, and these are leaks. They really happened, so that's what we're in for, boys.
6 days. 6 days. You know what? I'm praying these leaks are flaming piss poor wrong. I think that's part of I've got a weird sort of tension I'm thinking about next Thursday night, and I think the number one driving force to go in there is I hope all these leaks are fucking trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow they've chopped up these, because I mean we've never seen a release of so many TV spots for one movie, like ever. I don't remember them ever doing something like that. I mean, we would
And
get
whole
one
clips,
TV
too.
spot a day.
Yeah.
They got another one today, by the way.
But actual clips of the movie too, which is odd.
Yeah.
We keep doing these trailers like, oh, here's the last trailer. No, it's not.
No, this is the last one. No, this is the last one.
Yeah.
This is the last one before the one we just showed.
I'm waiting for DJ Khaled to jump out and be like, and another one, and another one. God, I did a trailer reaction to one of them like 3 weeks ago. I thought it was going to be the last one, the Duel of the Fates one. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a reaction to it. And I put DJ Khaled at the beginning of that video going, and another one. We got another one. And we've had like 14 since then.
Yeah.
They seem desperate.
I wanted to actually make a video of, I was waiting for them to come to an end. And I was going to take them because they were only 30-second spots. So I was thinking maybe I'll get up to 5 minutes. And now what? It just keeps going. So I'm like, I'm just scrapping the whole idea. I'm not even going to do it.
The
The one yesterday is a full trailer. I mean, it's a new trailer.
Almost.
An actual trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a trailer. Wasn't that a
Minute
one
45
overseas or
seconds, I
something?
think.
Yeah.
In fairness, the Kylo Emperor stuff was really cool. You know, it came across cool on screen anyway.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I only saw it once, but I think that was a trailer that was released overseas, maybe.
oh, okay.
I mean, that wasn't a TV spot. I believe that was a trailer because they have it. It showed the ending, like, you know, with the actual rise of Skywalker, the way it comes up and everything like that. They try to make the TV spots and the trailers feel a little bit different, and that one felt like, and like you said, it was a minute and a half, minute 45, something like that.
I think it was, come to think of it, it was an Amazon special look, they called it.
Mm.
Come to think of it. It was something that they put out on Amazon or with Amazon or something. You know, they gave themselves a buffer because they signed this marketing deal with all these companies to promote this movie. And all together, they were paid $300 million for this advertising. Like, for example, they're advertising with Porsche this time around. And I don't know, Burger King has got one going on with them right now and all kinds of things. But by the way, I don't think any of it's going on here. A lot of the promotion is like overseas stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're
I
really
don't know.
trying to capture that overseas market. I don't know. The Last Jedi didn't do well overseas, did it? No, it did. Yeah.
No.
And
No.
Solo just it bombed everywhere.
Tanks.
It bombed
Yeah,
everywhere.
tanks.
But so I don't know. Maybe they're trying to, you know, the jury's probably, well, I think maybe we're pretty much locked in the States as far as who's going to see it, who's not. Maybe they're trying to drum up some excitement overseas. I don't know.
According to Christy with the $2, thank you. The Rise of Skywalker is shit.
She gave 2 shits.
Christy, put your link in the chat. Texas. I always call her Texas. She's from Texas.
1,000 sub self.
Yeah, I know. Just
Yeah.
roared up on us out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
Ta-da! I told her the other day, you're going to have to live stream like every other day. Get that watch time going on, you know. Death by Saber, what's up? What's up? Your link. Put the link to your channel.
Yes, all right.
No, funny stuff. Horror Nation, Jedi Fallen Order revealed that certain Jedi can use, which explains how Rey can see visions when touching certain items.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, psychometry's been. I mean, it's been around. Yeah,
that was even in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. And I think the one that's probably that is Quinlan Voss is the one that people refer to the most when you're thinking about that power, at least for EU Quinlan Voss. No, actually, he's canon.
In
still
Clone Wars. Yeah. He
and
there was,
then Dark Disciple, which is actually canon.
On a side note, the Clone Wars is back in February, by the way.
can't wait. That's why I'm trying to get caught up. I want to make sure I've got everything's my eyes on everything.
Yo, I
Can't
can
wait.
watch this all the time. I
Yeah.
love Star Wars, guys.
Yeah.
Love it. I think Filoni did such an amazing. We were talking about Cad Bane earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you say there's a lot of good still left in Star Wars. You know, it's a shame that whatever.
Yeah.
I wrote that. That's autocorrect. Thanos for coming by.
Guys, we're going to call it right here. Right here. Hour and a half. Supposed to be an hour-long show, but to hell with it. We always go over. Any final words? We will go around the room. Flip, doubt, hit us.
Okay. So, in a weird way, I'm looking forward to watching it crash and burn. And that's the angry young man with bigger, that guy in me, you know, is like, well, I'll just go ahead and watch it crash because it's going to be a great explosion. I think we might all agree that the film itself, the filmography, will be beautiful. I'm sure the best effects in the world are going to be put into this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, give or take a buck or two for that. Okay. The story is really where it hurts.
Exactly.
And as much as they put this out in a negative way, oh, you're all man babies. Well, it's like I've said in a recent video, this is all we're all kids at heart and in our minds when it comes to Star Wars. We grew up from that. It taught us things that we can never have learned. Well, we may have learned, but not in such a profound way and at such a young age. I just would like to see it change. And since I can't, I want to see it crash and burn. And I'm going to enjoy every minute of that shit. And I'm going to enjoy the good effects too. But that's all I have to say. I'm looking forward to it being over with. Let the head be cut off the snake. Let it be done. I want to see if they can do anything with Mandalorian and Obi-Wan. And let's see where it goes, I guess. If it's going to be bad, I don't know. I guess like I'll buy some Disney loot. What else can I do? What else can I do?
Well said, Flip Down. Foxy, hit us.
There's I've got a lot of trepidation about episode 9. I don't know what to expect. I'm pretty sure it's all going to be terrible. So let's flip it around. Let's talk about the good. I think that when we see good in Star Wars, whether Disney or not, like The Mandalorian, I think we need to embrace it. I think we need to enjoy it, dig into it. Like these episodes, we dig into them and we enjoy them and we pick them apart and we talk about what we like and we don't like, but that's what fans do, So I would encourage anyone who is yearning for some of that good Star Wars to dig into the new stuff that you like, enjoy it, support it. Don't feel dirty. Don't feel bad about it because there are good creative people behind the scenes that aren't Disney that I think deserve that support. Like the Filonis and some of the directors and some of the actors that we talked about. I think that they deserve that, and you shouldn't feel dirty by doing it. And support good Star Wars. But it's I think for me the movies are done. So swing by my channel on Thursday. I'll be live streaming. We'll talk about it, spoilers and all.
Cool.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Lord Callus.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's truth in what both Fox and Flip are saying. Listen,
Absolutely.
I love Star Wars. Always will. So, it's really going to be, we know it's going to look good. We know it's going to sound good. It's going to be about the story. I hope that they just do not, in doing certain things, I hope they don't retcon the original trilogy. I hope they don't try to undermine the prophecy. Let it just be a standalone sort of film, if you will. Let it go out with a bang, looking and sounding good, and then let's move on. I'm still reading current canon as well as EU legends. So for me, I immerse myself in play the video games, and I embrace the shows and the other movies. So I love Star Wars, but I'm just hoping for the best right now.
Prepare for the worst.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Good surprises. I don't know.
yeah.
I was thinking about it today. I was out on a job. I was taking care of a client, and I was like, my God, how did we get here? How did we get here? And then I was thinking about Star Wars. I was thinking about being a kid and how much Star Wars was just part of our family, part of our household. Thinking about the very first time I went to a theater. My mother took me to see The Empire Strikes Back. It was in Athens, Texas, a town of about 3,000 or 4,000 people. It was 1980. It was a downtown square theater. I can remember looking up at that Empire Strikes Back blue poster, the one with Han and Leia on the front of it, and that's one of my most cherished childhood moments. And what has happened here with Star Wars is devastating. But just think about just in our community how devastating it is for us. There's people out there that haven't come to YouTube. There's people out there somewhere going, what happened to Star Wars? Why does it suck now? Look, guys, I'm hoping the movie throws us a curveball. I hope I'm sitting down to do a review Thursday night, and I'm like, I want to be able to lean back in this chair and be like, I'm back. Rhodes Rants on Star Wars. J.J. Abrams, you son of a bitch, you did it.
Yeah.
But look, my gambit of emotion during this spoiler review could run. We could have all spectrums. There will be F-bombs. There may be tears because this is it.
Yeah.
It's the end of the Skywalker saga. And this is what we're left with, And I don't know. I'm just floored. I'm floored that all the figures, going to see Return of the Jedi, old Cargill Theater in Longview, Texas. I can remember people lined up down the sidewalk around the building to get into Jedi. And here we are going into theaters that aren't even none of my theaters are sold out. It's sad.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody who came out tonight. Thank you, panelists. Road Squadron showed up. We showed our ass. We talked Mandalorian. We talked the Rise of Skywalker. We talked everything. Lucasfilm, gutter, train wreck, all of it. And we talked about some good stuff too. We're out. Peace.
Till next time.
There you go.